What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. And I just got in the mail a new figure that I thought I'd share with you. It is a Lili Ledy, and I've got a few of my Lili Ledys welcoming him in the back. As you can see, I've got a few of my loose graded examples, a couple of overstocks and things like that that I believe I've shown to you in previous videos. But I just finally got a Squid Head. I love Squid Head. He's one of my favorite characters, but for some reason I've just never gotten around to getting one. Either the Hong Kong or whatever. I just never got around to it. So I finally pulled the trigger on him. This is a Lili Ledy Squid Head, and it's the newest Lili Ledy addition to my collection. And he's just a really, really cool figure. First, I'm going to take a closer look at this one, and then we will talk a little bit more about some of the different variants that are out there. But just what an awesome figure. I just love the design on him. You know, most of my favorite figures, for whatever reason, just happen to fall in Return of the Jedi. I don't know why, but I don't know if it's just because they're a little bit more affordable to collect graded like this or not. But you know, certainly not true for all of them. But I've got plenty of favorites from the other two movies. But Squid Head is one that I've really wanted to get one for a while, and finally I just got this one. So here we are. Beautiful blue eyes. I don't have any to compare it to, unfortunately, but he's got those big, ugly hands. You can see his blaster there. It's like a, you know, kind of a muted gray. And then here's the label on it. This is a 1983 Lili Ledy Star Wars loose action figure. No COO on the back of the leg. Squid Head, and it's got the ribbed cape. This is the ribbed cape variant, and I'll talk more about that in a second. And it came back with an 85 plus, but a beautiful figure. And here's the cape, and you can kind of see the ridges and texture in the cape there. That is what it's referring to when it says ribbed cape. All those kind of little ridges right there, but back of the head there. Very cool figure. Now, the interesting thing about the Lili Ledy Squid Head is that there are a ton of variants for this figure. The most rare and certainly the most expensive, one of the most expensive Lili Ledys that you can get is the burgundy cape Squid Head. That has a very burgundy colored cape, very similar to the burgundy robed Bib Fortuna. Very, very expensive figure. A high grade one of those will set you back to $1,000 easy. And so that's one. Now the ribbed cape, as you can see in this on this figure, the ribbed cape is the most common of the Lili Ledy Squid Heads. These came on Made in Mexico cards, made for the U.S. market. It has the little hole punch in the back of the on the back of the card to let the figure breathe, and down at the bottom it'll say Made in Mexico. I've got a Darth Vader example on my channel that you're welcome to look up if you want to see that kind of detail, but this is the most common. These were available on the Made in Mexico cards. The challenge with the Made in Mexico Squid Heads is that you're either going to get the Lili Ledy label like this one has, or you're going to have Made in Mexico on the label, and it just depends on the accessories. So if all of the accessories, all these little accessories will have little markings and different factory notes on them, especially the belt and the blaster, to denote whether it's a Kenner overstock product that they use for packaging with these figures, or if they were manufactured in the Lili Ledy factory. So this is an example where the accessories, the belt and the blaster, were made in a Lili Ledy factory. So it got the Lili Ledy label on the AFA label. So that's a mouthful. That's what she said. But if it has Kenner parts, for example, it's going to say Made in Mexico on the label. And I've got a couple of examples. Some of these Vaders up here. I've got a Lili Ledy Vader as well as a Made in Mexico Vader, and the difference is the saber, or maybe the cape. I don't know. I haven't looked into that much detail on it. But for this Squid Head, he's got all the accessories made in the factory in Mexico. So he got the Lili Ledy label. But that's so this is the most common one. We've got the burgundy cape we just talked about. That's the most expensive. One of the other rare variants is you'll have like a greenish kind of robe or greenish kind of cloth for this collared stitching. That's called the Bib Fortuna collar. They use the same material that they use for the Ledy Bib Fortuna on the collar of some of these squid heads. That's a pretty rare one, and also very, very expensive, very difficult to find. But that's a third one. A fourth one is a brown cape that does not have the ridges. That is a pure Lili Ledy cape that's only found on Ledy cards. And there are some green ones, but it's hard to tell whether those are just discolorations from the brown or not. I found a really good Ledy guide on Facebook that kind of goes through all the different variations for this figure. Well, for every figure, actually. It's really great. But it shows the green cape, but it says that, you know, nothing's been confirmed on the card to have the green cape. Most likely it's just a discolored brown. So there is a brown cape just like this, except it does not have the ridges that you see. I'm going to zoom in really close so you can see all those little ribs or ridges. But the one that came on the Ledy card back did have a brown cape, a furryish, more furry, less textured brown cape without the ridges. So those are the different variations. You got the burgundy cape, you got this rib cape, you got the brown cape, and then you got the one with the Bib Fortuna collar. So those are the four main variations, with the green being one that you'll see sometimes as well. But it's not recognized as a true variant since nobody's discovered one still on the card. But just another beautiful Ledy example. Very excited to have him. I don't know why it's taken me so long to get one of these. There are, you know, in terms of the other variations that are available, there's a Hong Kong, and then there's also a No COO. The No COO has a little bit different colored cape. The Hong Kong is a similar brown color. The No COO is a much darker, and it's got hints of green to it. Those were available on the Try Logo cards. Those are the only ones off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm missing some, but you know, a very cool figure and very underappreciated figure. There's folks out there that really only focus on Squid Head. They just love him that much. And there are a ton of different Mexican bootlegs out there for this guy. I've got one in grading that's in the bag still, with a Luke Bespin bootleg. It's a 2-pack that's really, really cool. So I'm excited to have that one back. I think that it doesn't come back for a while, actually. It doesn't come back till September. So we'll take a look at that one, but that's a really cool bootleg baggie I got with a Squid Head and a Luke Bespin in a 2-pack that's bagged. So, but there are a number of different Squid Head bootlegs out there, and they command super premium prices. But anyway, just wanted to do a quick video for this guy. He just arrived today, and I'm very excited to have him, and thank you for watching.